Hi there, it's Laurie at Positive Thanks Living. Today's a short video. I'm doing a flip through of the third week of a tiny journal. I'm doing Exploring Joy, and that's for the hashtag Faith Journal July 2025. And as you can see, I have the word joy on the front cover. And this little mini journal is an accordion journal, and it stretches all the way across my table. It's been not an easy week, let's put it that way. And this week I decided just to write out the scripture and go back to my favorite Bible version, which is the Amplified, and just spend some time sitting with each scripture each day. So you can see that I've just written it out. And this journal is a accordion journal made with scraps. I have my scraps in a 3-tier rolling thing, trolley, and I just pulled stuff out of there to make the accordion journal, and tore the paper and glued the paper and added some of these leaves that I am scribbling. It is a watercolor pencil, and I'm not an artist. I just enjoy scribbling on paper. It was very quiet, very meditative. I didn't have any noise on, and I had a chance just to consider each scripture verse. And then I tore them out, attached them to some word faux calligraphy that I did on tracing paper, and attached it to the accordion journal with brads. So they're movable, they have movement. And then went on and used up as much washi as I possibly could, because I have a lot of that, and as it sits for a while, it no longer is as sticky, or it becomes too sticky. So I'm determined to use up what I have. And that's what this week's mini journal was for. I was pondering, because this is the third mini journal I made, 3 weeks, and there are real benefits with using mini journals. It's easy to do them in a short time frame, and it's perfect for a week, and it's really good with dedicated focus like this joy study. It's perfect for trying new techniques like this accordion journal, or last week I put together some envelopes into a mini journal, and the week before, the first week, I used some 6x6 pages in a different format. So a mini journal is perfect to try as a something you don't usually do. Mini journals are also really portable. They're easy to carry, just to put in your purse or to put in the corner of your dining table and pull out when you want it. It's not a huge production making them. So I had fun with making this mini journal, even though it was not an easy week. And what it does do with these mini journals, especially working on them 5 days a week, or when you have time to do them, then it invites reflection. You can layer things. Just writing out the words joy, it constantly focused me on the concept. And how often do we just stop and think, what is joyful in my life right now? What this study is teaching me at this point anyhow is the beauty of God's love, regardless of what's going on in the outside part of our life. His love is steady. His love is constant. So reflections, mini journals, they provide an opportunity to reflect. And I was also thinking it would be fun to gift someone a mini journal. It's not going to be overwhelming to them, or it's not going to be like too much of a gift. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they're also not that expensive. I mean, obviously we use as junk journalers things that would be thrown away, normally thrown away. So there's not a lot of expense to begin with. But if you're just beginning with this paper crafting, a small journal is a small outlay, whether it's just a bit of glue, whether it's just a bit of paper, maybe it's some ribbon, and that's a small amount of money to spend on something that can be so beneficial. It's also, a mini journal kind of feels like a treasure. It feels like something that you know what you put into the journal, the small journal. You know the time that you took. You remember the time that you were working on it and the joy that it brought at that moment in time. So a mini journal is like this little snapshot of time where you were exercising your creative skills or learning a new skill. Yeah. I'm not an artist. I'm not a calligrapher. But I took joy in doing those little bits for this little journal. And it's going to sit probably in a box on a shelf. And when I'm ready to revisit the study, and I will, then I can pull these out. And I will have a sense of memory of what I learned. And then I can go on and build further on it. So this week wasn't as deep into studying more than the scripture. It was truly writing the words out as scripture and taping them on to a page that had been torn and adding some washi tape wherever I felt like adding. I didn't belabor the whole, should I put it here, should I not put it there? A mini journal is less of a strain. You're not worried about making a mistake because it's just a mini journal. So there's another benefit of, I don't know how many there are now, 10 maybe, of using mini journals. And I'm going to do it again next week for the 4th week in another mini journal, a little more traditional, from a box that I was going to throw away. I'll show it to you at the end. But here it is. Here's the journal. The one side I have 4 days worth, and the other side I have the 5th day. And then I just used some of the provided word fetty or scripture or quotes, and I placed it on the opposite side. And so it becomes just a little bit of a treasure, 3rd week treasure from the Amplified Bible. That's my preferred version. And I marked them in there so that the little blue tabs are from this week's study. Do you have a favorite Bible translation that you use? Is it different from the ones that were provided, the ESV and the King James Version? If so, leave a comment. I would love to know how you feel about using a version you are not used to, or using one that you are used to, the benefits and the drawbacks. So this is week 1, week 2, and week 3 of Exploring Joy, and it's a collaboration with a bunch of creators hosted by Diane and Debbie. And you can join in at any point. Start now. It's not too late. There are those, I've met them, you know how you meet someone, so to speak, on Instagram that are saying they're starting now. So this is the opposite side. You can see what I did on the opposite side. Again, just something simple. Didn't worry about, was it going to match, or is it going to be aesthetically pleasing? I was concentrating on the scriptures and the quotes and the words, praying over things as I worked on it. And it became a sanctuary. There we go. This third week was a sanctuary for me, in some time when, Christ was there with me, regardless. So, third week, Exploring Joy, with the hashtag Faith Journal July 2025. I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week is going to be better. And even if it isn't, Christ goes with me into it, right? I'm going to make that box into a journal, a mini journal, of course. And we'll see you next week. If nobody's told you yet, you matter. How you feel, what you do, what you think, how you're doing matters. And I wish you well. Bye for now. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living.